Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 22 of Seagulls Social. I'm your host Maz and I'm of course joined by Benjamin, and we are not joined by Ryan this week. He is not here this week, he's got prior commitments, so unfortunately he couldn't move that around. So we are going to continue as a 2, which is a shame, but Ryan will be back hopefully for the next, he definitely will be back for
I think we're going to try and preview Liverpool this week. Don't hold me on that because we are busy people.
Exactly, mate.
Exactly. So we'll try.
Also, as well, Ben, did you have a good weekend? Apart from obviously the great result.
Yeah, mate. Well, I tried to. I'm trying to enjoy my life. I'm trying to do a dry Jan or a damp Jan, which is why I've got a glass of wine here instead of my Brighton Hove Albion mug. No, it's so hard to do things that don't involve going to a pub. I've realised. So like, especially if it's raining, we're going to play golf yesterday. We were going to go and play golf yesterday, but obviously it was awful weather, so just went to the gym and then went to Nando's and watched the Brighton game on the phone. So really good fun. What about you?
Sounds stupendous. I went to Glasgow this weekend for a mate's stag. Ended up going and watching the Glasgow Rangers and Kyogo. So that was good fun. Yeah, Celtic.
Wait, did you see Rangers or Celtic?
Celtic.
Oh right, Celtic. Yeah.
The first stuff was absolutely tragic. I went. It's like watching Brighton when we're in League Two.
Oh no!
It was honestly tragic. Like I genuinely reckon we beat them 7-0. Like they are not good. But then the second half they scored one in the first and then they battered them in the second half, and it was Kilmarnock. So
who was their standout player, do you think, for Celtic that game?
I can't pronounce his name, but it was one of the
Kyogo?
Japanese trio. No, it wasn't Kyogo. It was
Mate.
No, not Maeda. Maeda was very good though. Maeda could have scored like 5. He got in some really good positions.
I swear they only have 2. Or was Maeda?
No, it's 3 of them. It's 3 of them. I want to say Hiromata, something like that. Hiromata. I think it's him.
Names,
Yeah. So I apologise for any Japanese fans listening. We apologise.
Which there might be because of Mitoma.
Exactly. But no, the Japanese trio were very, very good. He actually got man of the match. I think his name's Hirotama. I really apologize. I'm just going to quickly check it now because I actually feel really bad. Let me just really check.
Well, at least we've got our own Japanese, and Mitoma again obviously was unbelievable.
There you go. I've actually butchered it. It was Rio Hatate.
Hatate, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I said. But yeah, Rio Hatate, very good player.
Sign him up.
And if I could sign one player from the Celtic team, Ben, it would probably be.
I felt like you had already thought of that.
I just thought of one.
The way you delivered that.
No, do you know what? I was really impressed with Carter Vickers. If we need a backup centre back, Cameron Carter Vickers. I know we're going to talk. We're going to talk about it. So anyway, without further ado, I've been waffling. Anyway, we'll go into the Middlesbrough game. Another fantastic result, 5-1 away from home against, as we talked about in the last pod, a tough Middlesbrough side considering the upturn of form since Carrick.
Yeah.
Obviously, Championship side, which isn't quite the Premier League standard.
But in the FA Cup, Maz, this weekend we've seen a lot of upsets. A lot.
The magic of the FA Cup.
The magic of the FA Cup is here and it's kicking. Yeah, There have been some really, really surprising results. Even just half an hour before we start filming this, Stevenage came back and beat Villa, and I think they're in League 2 or League 1.
League 2, I think.
So, mate, anything can happen in the FA Cup, and to dispatch an informed team who are playing really, really well, who have Akpom firing, to dispatch them 5-1 was incredible. And what I actually loved, and it gave me a bit more respect for Middlesbrough fans, was a lot of the Middlesbrough fans and people that were watching the game gave us a lot of credit. They were like one of the best teams that have ever been at, one of the best teams that we've seen at Riverside for a long, long time. And just saying that, it was actually, they enjoyed watching us play football, which was quite something, to be fair. So respect to those Middlesbrough fans that did have the balls and respect to tweet some of that.
That's genuinely, I know I've mentioned it already, but like when I sat there the first half at Celtic Park, I was literally like, I'm so lucky to watch the football I'm watching at Brighton. Like generally, like, the standard was such a stark difference between, let's say, when I want to watch Arsenal, I know it's Arsenal top of the league, and obviously Brighton we're flying, so obviously it's going to be a very top quality game. But just watching the quality of Brighton versus Arsenal in comparison to Celtic versus Kilmarnock. It's just such a stark difference. So, yeah, I think we play some fantastic football. And, yeah, the credit we're getting, I think, is just overdue. Like, we've been playing this football, I think, for the last 2 years, probably. Like, obviously, under Potter, we were so positive. Yeah. We were getting really good results, and we were getting plaudits. But I think everyone attributed that to Potter. I think that's what I felt like. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Potter. Oh yeah, Potter's done that." Like, no credit to the
Yeah,
players.
any other managers, they're just going to be awful.
Yeah, exactly.
Brighton are over when we were getting rid of Potter. Well, when Potter was on his way out, everyone thought Brighton were finished.
Yeah, but they didn't know we had Tony
Including
Bloom, Ben. So
yeah, exactly. They can
Jokes on
take
them.
our staff, they can take our players, but they can't take Tony Bloom. But Todd
Bloom.
Bowley will probably try and find a way to get Bloom.
Yeah.
He'll make him like assistant chairman or something like that. Find a new role for him.
make him partners. No, that would be like the saddest day in recent
that's when
Brighton
we're
times.
finished.
That's when we're over. Yeah, that's when we're finished. When Tony Bloom leaves, we are finito.
We need to put him in a cryo chamber. Just keep him fresh. put him to rest for a few years. Obviously, when the time comes, but get him back in the future.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Or we clone him. That's the other option.
Yeah.
So it's
or we just
freeze him.
He just
or clone him.
trains one of his sons up. I think he's got 1 or 2 sons. Then we've got generations to come. Yeah.
Bash. Right. Back
Real
to
football
because we got sidetracked. Right, first goal. It was an element of not luck, but I mean, March should have finished it. Ben, basically, shouldn't he? Ben Ferguson crosses it in.
March of old, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, March of old. 1-on-1 with the keeper. We could say good save, we could say bad finish, either or. And then good little finish from Pascal Gross to make it 1-0. What were your thoughts on the goal, Ben?
Like I said, Pascal Gross reads the game before everyone else. Maybe he read that situation, or maybe it was luck, but you make your own luck. It was a very, very good finish. First time finish, I believe, tucked in the bottom corner.
Yep.
And that's when you thought, that's the Premier League side, just being clinical, taking their chances. And from then on, you think it was going to be all right. But obviously, I think actually, going back to it, I think Purvis Estupiñán was very crucial in that.
Class.
I think he, in the whole game, obviously, but I think he intercepted the ball and then won it back, and then that's where the chance was created. But obviously, the Middlesbrough Cape bloody got back in the game, didn't they?
Pretty quickly, made it 1-1. Just quickly on Estupiñán, I actually shout out to both fullback. I thought Lamptey and Estupiñán were key in pretty much all the good stuff we went.
Lamptey's found his level. I'm joking. Fans to Tarek, I love you. You're very, very good.
Shout out to I thought Lamptey and Estupiñán were actually class. I thought they were really good going forward, and they were key in a lot of the good things we did going forward. And I think Estupiñán had in 2 or potentially 3 of the goals. Big shout out to the fullbacks. I thought they've done a really, really good job. And going to the goal, the equaliser, Chuba Akpom, as we again discussed in the last pod, as we predicted, he did turn up. And we got to talk about though the build-up, Ben, don't we? Because we both noticed that Colwill probably wasn't at his best. I think that's fair to say.
Wasn't his brightest moment.
Yeah. So he initially gave the ball away, which then obviously Middlesbrough went on the attack. And then he got beat in the air by Akpom for the goal, which that's not necessarily a mistake at all because people can, get
We're talking about a Chuba Akpom now. We're not talking about the Chuba Akpom was at Brighton and obviously had an awful time and went to PAOK and I think he became a legend there actually, to be fair, but he was playing in the Greek League of all places. But this is a Chuba Akpom that's in hot form, which is mental to say. And also, like Ryan said in the previous episode, he's linked with Palace, so tough to concede to him, but also he's a striker on form and he knows where the goal is at the moment. So maybe we can cut Colwell a little bit of slack.
Yeah,
for that second part.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting beat in the air, that's not. I don't see that as.
It happens.
It happens exactly. But the pass that the loose pass, where he gave the ball away, maybe just lack of concentration. Maybe just wasn't.
I've noticed actually, Maz, recently from whenever Colwell's in possession, he has these parts of the game where he'll just stand still. I don't know if he's doing it to like assert a dominance on the team when they're not pressing and stuff like that. He'll get the ball and he'll just like stand still with the ball at his feet and not like look to move. It's quite a funny thing to say. It's a bit of a confident flex, but he does that a fair bit. I quite like seeing him do it.
I think it's more like maybe get caught out. He's assessing the situation, assessing the.
But you never see centre backs just stand still and just like be like, look, come at me.
I know what you're saying. But so with that equaliser. Chuba Akpom, disappointing goal to concede, I thought. But Middlesbrough, like we said, they're a decent side. Nothing. I can't be angry at that, to be fair. But then I thought the way it's like, do you know what? Going from like 1-1, I think the Brighton of old could capitulate there. Like we'd be like, 1-1. Let's just like see the game out. As in, sort of try and get through to half time, wherever it might be, and just sort of get a result in some shape or form. Might get a bit scared, get a bit shaky. But then, like, I don't know what Zerbi's done, but he's instilled.
Yeah, what is he feeding him? We just score goals for fun. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, we're really good going forward. And actually, I had a question for you a bit later on about Zerbi in general. But yeah, I think just the mentality now around Brighton is that even if we go concede a goal or go 1-0 goal down, it's like we can't be. We don't know when we're beaten, and like we can come back, and it's not really a big problem if we do go 1-0 or 1-0 down. Whereas before, if we went 1-0 down, our heads would drop, and I'd be like, oh shit, we're going to concede potentially 2, 3, 4 goals here. Like even Arsenal, a great example. You know, like we went, they battered us like for a good period of time.
Yeah,
but then we came back,
like 60 minutes.
and in the second half, we could easily have drawn that game.
Yeah.
You know, if it weren't for VAR and, you know, a few other things that didn't go away, like, we could easily got that draw. So, yeah, for me, that has really, I think that mentality now that we've got is super key. And, yeah, I don't know what you think.
We've just got loads more attacking players that can find the goal. Like, as Matoma. Matoma was really involved in the second goal, I believe, Lallana's goal. It's just give the ball to Matoma, basically, and he'll do something. He might dive, that we obviously talk about, but he also might set up Lallana. I think it was a volley into the ground that went over the keeper or something like that. And Lallana obviously had like an easy tap in, but yeah, I feel Matoma is just, when you've got him on the pitch, an exciting player like that, you're always going to get, it seems like you're always going to get goals, because every time he plays, we score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And obviously Graham Potter was previously quoted for saying that I think when we had that game, that spell of 7 games without a goal, he was like, people expect teams to score goals. It's not a basketball match. And then Zerbi in our last like 4 or 5 games, he scored like 17 goals, something like that. It's just putting him to shame. But yeah, we are in hot scoring form, and yes, we still need a striker. Will be my point still. But yeah, when you've got players like Matoma on the pitch, you're always gonna score goals. I think.
Yeah, and with regards to the midfield now. Well, so actually, before I go on to the midfield, actually, I think the fact that we went, because let's be real, that starting lineup was pretty much our starting 11. I think maybe with the exception of Lallana, obviously McAllister being on the bench. I think that was, and obviously Dunkey being a replacement of Van Heck.
Yeah, Van Heck came in.
Who actually played very well, by the way. I'm sure we'll get onto him as well. But yeah, aside from Dunk and McAllister, that was pretty much, and you could argue Trossard potentially.
That's what I'm saying, because you keep doing these exceptions, and because we also had this. I think genuinely, I think it's just our squad is so good. So like we said in the previous episode, any like 11 you put out, you could argue that's our best 11, because we've got so many good and informed players at the moment. Any team we put out, you just think, that's a very strong team.
Yeah,
we've just got a very, very good squad with great depth. Apart from
it's class. But then I suppose the question is then, who do you start next game? Like for the Premier League game. Who do you start against Liverpool? Like for I'm assuming obviously McAllister comes in. Obviously Dunk will replace Van Heck.
Alexis starts.
Do you play Veltman instead of Lamptey? Do you drop Pascal Gross because obviously he's been playing class? You don't. I don't think personally. But then who gets the chop? Because someone has to go. So it's like what do you do?
That's a headache. It's a headache that Zerbi you will want. Managers do like, but that's tough. Like if I was putting my smart hat on, you would say Veltman over Lamptey just because, Liverpool have got really good attacking power. You might laugh because they've got Nunes, but they've got Gakpo recently, who's a talent, and he'll be playing on the left-hand side. So it'll be a battle between him and Veltman, who obviously probably has played against him or come up against him in training for the Netherlands. So maybe that would be the smart decision to play him instead of Lamptey. Yeah. But yeah, it's a headache that the Zerbi will want to have because all of his players are playing really well.
And considering we can't answer the question, everyone's listening now. In the comments down below on YouTube or wherever you're watching this or listening to this, let us know your starting 11 for Liverpool. We want to know who you're going to start because, the selection headache is going to be a madness. And, of course, if you are new here as well, we've got to give it a little plug. We don't really usually plug the pod, but if you are new here, please do hit that like, subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching it because, it does mean a lot to us. So
this is the point where YouTubers always say there are 70% of people that watch this that aren't subscribed. We don't know the stat, but we're just going to say 90% of the people that are watching aren't subscribed, so just subscribe. Yeah, just do that.
Please do it. We beg. But and also put your starting 11 in the comments because we want to know. We want to know who you think should start. But then going on to the third goal. This was the magnifique outstanding it was. What other superlatives do we have for this goal? It was magic from Mac. The return of the Mac the flick, the little flick goal he did for the third was just sensational. Good play to be fair. I think was it Ferguson who put the ball in? I thought he was great. Like he was involved.
Yeah, he was played through by one of the Brighton players for sure. We just got too many to remember now. And then Ferguson, he held up the ball really well, and then obviously gave it back. I think he tried to look for a shot, didn't he? But then he just kind of thought, no, I'll be sensible, and gave it back to Brighton in possession. Yeah, Perv. It looked like. Did you reckon it was a cross or a shot? Yeah.
Perv,
did you reckon it was a shot? Or
no.
He put a lot of power into it, though, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't actually feel like a cross, did it? Really? I don't know. Maybe he was. Only he will know. I suppose.
Just a hit and hope.
Yeah. But the way McAllister finessed that and just because when you watch the highlights back, the commentator actually goes, "Oh, it's come off McAllister as if
Brighton don't score goals like that."
Yeah, like Purvis just accidentally hit it and it's just clattered off McAllister and it's gone in. But yeah, of course, when you watch it back, and then the commentator corrects himself, goes, oh, "Actually, what a goal!" And he had to correct himself because he's like, "Yeah, that was an incredible little flick." So yeah, I think the way it came at him and just to have that know-how and awareness, and just have the awareness of it, just to be able to do that and to have the skill to do that as well. But I suppose he's a World Cup winner, isn't he, Ben? So
you can tell he spent 6 weeks with Lionel Messi, can't you? Yes, you can. You genuinely can. And then obviously the free kick after that, I think it was after that, hits the post. Like that was an unbelievable free kick. Imagine if that went in. And then like you said, you could have had a hat trick. But yeah, that goal, the flick, we don't see that a lot from Brighton players. But you can tell the quality is going up. It's gone up a level, hasn't it, under Zerbi? At the start, we were very, very good, but we've gone up a notch. And imagine if we go up another notch.
Yeah, that would just be scary.
Yeah, but scary times for other people.
As I was, scary hours.
Scary hours.
Scary hours. But I would actually. What was my question to you? It was going to be actually. It was about. I can't remember now.
Alexis, maybe.
Yeah, Alexis. Yes, yeah. With him, obviously he's been sort of being eased back in, and you expect him to start against Liverpool. With regards to the expectations now, do you think as fans now we're going to expect him to put in 10 out of 10 performances because he has now won a World Cup? He's obviously, recently when he's played, he's looked really good. Obviously he scored 2 goals against Middlesbrough. Do you think he's now going to have that big expectation on his shoulders now from Brighton fans? Or just generally from fans?
I think from the media, I don't think the fans. I think it would be unfair for the fans to expect him to suddenly be an incredible player every single game, week in, week out. He's still a human at the end of the day. I think he's definitely improved. You can tell. Yeah. But yeah, I think it'd be unfair for Brighton fans to think that he's going to carry the team or be a 10 out of 10 every single week. But yeah, like I said, the media probably will. Just because they overhype players and they like to see people have a downfall when they start flopping. So
yeah,
I think the media will be talking about him a lot. But I think we know what we've got with Alexis, don't we?
No, 100%. And then of course, I agree with those points. To be fair, I think it's like you said, he's only human. Unless you're Lionel Messi, which he's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, looks like him.
Yeah, you can't be put in 10 out of 10 performances every week. But the level he's playing at. The fact someone made a good point. I think one of the commentators when I'm watching Man City versus Chelsea, they were talking about Julian Alvarez and how he's matured, and I think Kepa was trying to give him some verbals before he took his penalty.
For the pen.
Yeah, and I think the commentator meant he was like, I think it was Gary Lineker, and he was like, I don't know what Kepa was trying to do there. The guy's played in a World Cup final, and he's had that kind of pressure. I don't think Kepa coming up to him and talking to him in an FA Cup.
The skinniest keeper in the league.
Yeah, it's gonna do anything to his things. But so yeah, applying that same logic to McAllister, for him to have played at a World Cup final, to have won the World Cup final, that must surely put you on another level. As in, your confidence. You're like, I'm a World Cup winner. You're going to be that for the rest of your life.
I imagine some of the players surely some of the players will benefit off of Alexis being a World Cup winner and having that training with Lionel Messi. Maybe I'm just chatting out my arse here, but imagine if Alexis watched Messi play for 6 weeks straight or train 6 weeks straight. Surely there's some things and techniques he can tell, and Ciso, Sarmiento, players that play a similar role to Messi. Maybe I'm chatting at my arse, but you'd think that maybe he will have seen things and gone, yeah, that's something that Ciso could do, or do you not think? Or do you reckon that's waffle?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the latter, to be honest. But no, I
there must be some things he's picked up.
No, I get where you're coming from. I think him personally, for sure, like his personal development would have gone on like leaps and bounds being with that Argentina squad, because the quality around that squad was immense. I don't know how he could apply that to other. Like,
he wouldn't become a coach, would he? I guess.
No, exactly. Like he'll be focusing on himself. But I'm sure, like you said, the effect on the squad. So like, imagine all the lads when he came. You know that when like we did that amazing little presentation for him with all the confetti and all that. Like, imagine after, like, so Mac, like, what was it like? You know, like just chatting to him about it. Like, what did you learn? What did you do? What did you get up to? And just like. And it must motivate them. They're like, well, Matt can do it. I'm at Brighton. If McAllister can go and win the World Cup and become this kind of like amazing player, I can strive towards and becoming an incredible player and achieving, massive things in the game of football. So I think just like inspiring the squad, I think will be
that's a good
in itself. Yeah, he'll inspire the squad for sure. I think, and hopefully be like, look, I'm at this level. You boys got to come with me. I'm going to bring you up to my level. I think that's what will happen, rather than him coaching Sarmiento how to do and then Cisse how to do a Messi run.
A boy can dream. A boy can dream. Encara Messi. Encara Sarmiento.
There's not the same ring to it, but good effort. Good effort nonetheless. And then finally, and this was actually quite a bit of a talking point actually. So the fifth goal, of course, Dennis Undav, and a great finish to be fair to him. Solly March played it into him. I'm not going to lie though, and I hate to be that guy, but I just felt like everyone had sort of just stopped playing. Like the tempo was but the tempo was just super slow. Like he was literally like just on his own.
Because they were watching Dennis Undav play football, and they were like, "God, look at this baller." No, you know what? When he was
late on in the game.
You know, when he got emotional, I immediately felt some sort of pain, and I felt bad for him. And also, I felt bad because of maybe the jokes I'd made previously, saying that I don't think I ever said he was a finished striker by all means, but I mean, I think I just disregarded him as a Brighton player really, or to have any hope. And I felt bad when he cried because, like we said about McAllister, he is a human. He hasn't really had the minutes if you're looking at it properly. And this may sound like I'm changing my tune because he looked upset when he scored, but I think I'm just kind of stating the facts. Like, he actually hasn't had that much time. And when I'm saying, he's like a finished player or whatever as a joke, it's a joke, obviously. He's not a finished player. He's a Premier League footballer at the end of the day. But I did feel bad when he got emotional because you could tell it means a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%. And just to put it on record, I've never slagged him off. So
I don't think I actually have either. I think I've probably just joked that he's just not up to the level.
To be fair to yourself, Ryan, and I, we've never. Like you said, Ben, we've never actually outrightly said he's a terrible player, and I genuinely still don't think he is, because to score the amount of goals he did at USG, albeit the Belgian league, and we could talk, that's a different subject altogether.
That's a conversation, yeah.
So still to score that amount of goals in any league takes like you got to have skill, like and by the goal against Middlesbrough, you can tell he can finish. It was a great finish. It was a great strike. But. Yeah, and again, it's not to say that he's done, but my question, unfortunately, does have to be:
is he done?
Would you? No.
Dennis Undav.
Would you? Oh,
sorry,
that was pretty good to be fair. I'll give you that one. Is he good enough to be a squad player and come off the bench and impact the game? Because I think when he has done so, and the reason why we potentially in the past have said, is he good enough for Brighton? Is he going to make it? Is because his performances haven't exactly. Giving us hope, so to speak. But I suppose, is this the turning point? Is this goal against Middlesbrough? Obviously, like you said, his emotions poured out, and I loved seeing that. I generally I love people putting their heart on their sleeves and
also the
showing
players
emotion.
Up to him. That was sweet.
And do you know what I loved? My favourite part of the whole thing was talking to McAllister. He literally, because when he noticed him crying, so at first McAllister goes and hugs him, and when he notices him crying, he sort of grabs him, and as people start joining, he sort of covers him. So as if
really?
so the cameras can't see him.
Yeah.
So he sort of like covers him and goes a bit like higher and makes sure like everyone's sort of covering him and not letting people see that he's crying. It. So I thought it was really lovely from McAllister. Like it shows that he cares a lot.
He's becoming a bit of a leader, isn't he, McAllister?
Yeah,
obviously.
no, exactly.
Still.
So also as well, the fact that as they're sort of getting more close to the centre circle, everyone sort of dispersed, and then McAllister stuck with him and just like kept like roughing his hair and putting his arm around him. So yeah, I thought that was great. That was really, really nice. And like you said, Ben, he's a human being, and he's obviously went through a bit of a tough time adjusting, getting used to English football, and obviously not scoring goals, which is what he's usually used to in his bread and butter.
That's what his job is. When you're not doing your job, when you're not doing your job, it is probably quite unmotivating. When you're paid to do something, one, you're not getting the minutes to do it, or maybe yourself in training, you're not living up to your expectation, or you're not doing as well as you think you should. Because there's obviously a reason, like it is a game of football. There's obviously a reason why Ferguson's now starting ahead of him. Maybe in training, Dennis Undav isn't performing as well as he should be. Maybe there's stuff going off the pitch that we don't know about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors that we don't know, but also it's up to him to impress in training. But it does seem like Evan Ferguson has taken that step in front of him, and it's probably second striker Evan Ferguson, third striker Dennis Undav. Danny Welbeck's still probably the first choice striker for De Zerbi. But it's hopefully that will be some confidence for Dennis Undav, and he can take that forward.
So question is, do you keep him this window or do you loan him out? I know I do.
I'll be honest, probably before he scored, and if you asked me last week, I'd probably say, maybe loan him out and we bring in another striker. But I don't know. I feel like maybe he needs to have some minutes. It would be silly to just waste him at Brighton, be a third choice striker where he's not really going to get that many minutes. Maybe we do loan him out. I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one because you're asking me when he's just scored for us, aren't you?
I know I do. I'd keep him. I'd keep him just simply because a numbers thing. Like again, let's say we did send him out on loan, and then unless we replaced him or
for some reason I'm thinking that we're going to sign a striker because of the Zerbi's comments a couple months ago, but maybe he's changed his mind.
It's like I just feel like regardless, or even if we do bring someone in, I just don't think we're still light at the up top. I just feel like we still need cover and numbers in attack. Well, like not in the wide areas or attacking midfield, centre midfield, whatever.
An actual striker.
Yeah, solely an actual striker.
We've got a lot of inside forwards and wingers and that sort of thing. Yeah. Thomas Army and them lot. But
like an out-and-out
number
goal
9. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep him. That's what I'd say. And hopefully, like you said, give him more minutes, give him more confidence. Hopefully, he can get on a bit of a run and, get that magic back that he had at USG. And, potentially we could see him be a starter. Why not? If Ferguson sort of drifts off a little bit, but again, I think Ferguson every time he's played, he's been class. So I think he's definitely deserves his spot, and going forward, he's the man for me. But yeah,
it would be interesting to see what De Zerbi's thoughts are now, because like I said just a couple months ago, he did say that he wanted to get a striker a couple months ago. Do you reckon that's changed because of Ferguson's form?
Again, if I was the gaffer, I would still go out and get a striker, even though Ferguson's done really well. When
we got the money, to do it. We have.
Yeah, I think I just want numbers. Like again, it's not about quantity over quality. Obviously, you want the quality more so than the quantity. But if that quality is injured all the time, i.e. Welbeck or a few other players, then what's the point? You need to have that. And as Arsenal fans are talking about now, they're like, oh, let's go get Mudryk, let's go get this person, let's go, because they're worried about if one of Martinelli, Saka, or and as we've seen, Gabriel Jesus gets injured, or they got Nketiah, and it's like the same with us. If Ferguson gets injured now, who replaces Ferguson up top? Dennis Undav. Yeah. But then we're all that he's like an Nketiah to us, I suppose, like same sort of not on the same level.
Fringe player.
Yeah, like a fringe. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was trying to look for. Then after, let's say Undav gets injured, then we literally have no one else because Welbeck's obviously out.
Recall Connolly.
Yeah, recall Connolly from Hull. That's. I would definitely still go with De Zerbi. Stick with De Zerbi's comments and definitely go out and get a striker, in my opinion. And then final question, Ben, on the FA Cup. Of course, we have got either Liverpool or Wolves, whoever wins that replay.
Oh, that is so boring.
That is a bit of a dead draw, isn't it?
Getting a Premier League team in when you're in the FA Cup.
But, Ben, they're both playing terrible at the moment. They're both shit. Not shit, that's bad word
Yeah,
to use.
it's unfair.
But they're both poor at the moment. Liverpool struggling massively, even though they played pretty much a full strength side against Wolves and drew to all. And then Wolves are languishing at the bottom. Obviously got a new gaffer in now in
Lopetegui. Julian Lopetegui.
Yeah.
There's less chance of a cup set because we're playing against Premier League opposition. That's the only positive I can think of playing Liverpool or Wolves.
I'm actually not upset about that draw because, like I said, Liverpool.
I
Wolves,
like playing.
I'd
love to play like Blackpool away, or I suppose we played Blackpool a couple of weeks ago. But if we got Wrexham away or Wrexham at home, that'd be really fun.
That would be good. Yeah.
That would be, and then you get to see so start maybe, and you instead of having to play your starting 11, even though yes, maybe 20 minutes ago I did just say we've got enough players to have a good.
Well, yeah, you could argue the Middlesbrough team. You could argue the Middlesbrough team was our first 11 with a few exceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It would have been fun for the magic of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But then
Ryan Reynolds at the Amex, mate.
Yeah,
what could you want?
Get Deadpool at the Amex.
Get Deadpool.
And then final question to wrap us up, Ben. Can we win the FA Cup, or how far do you think we'll go?
We could go. Okay, if we get past this round, there's a chance we could go far because so if we get through this round, we beat Liverpool or Wolves. City have got Arsenal or Oxford. Chelsea are already out. United have got Reading at home. Maybe United are in it, but there won't be that many big teams left in the competition after this round.
Yeah,
Arsenal might go out. Liverpool might go out. City might go out if Arsenal beat them. You'd expect United to beat Reading. There's a chance we could go far. There's a chance we could get semis. Could go to Wembley. I think if we get past this round
again and get Carl Walker. Heartbreak 2.0.
Yeah, heartbreak headbutt 2.0.
Headbutt 2.0. Ali Reza, mate.
What about you?
Do you know what? I was thinking similar, like quarterfinals potentially. I think we'll get through the next round, I don't know what it is. I think Wolves and Liverpool, like I said earlier, I just don't think they're up to scratch at the moment. Either of them. I wouldn't be fearful going into that game. Like on paper, Liverpool's team, when I saw it against Wolves, I was like, wow, like that's scary. But then... Yeah,
I thought it was beatable. But whenever Virgil's not there, and I know Virgil's a bit of like a hit and miss recently, but
this season's not been great.
When they don't have him in the team, they seem to just like lack a leader. It seems, other than Henderson, who's got 99 shouting.
But they had like Gakpo, Salah, Nunes, Thiago. Who else? Going forward, that four is pretty decent. Let's be
on
real.
Paper, but they just haven't been performing recently. So.
No, exactly. But we're preempting as if it'll be Liverpool. You never know. Wolves could be the ones coming through,
and they probably should have because of their VAR thing. That's insane. The fact that they didn't have a camera to see it and they had to rely on human eyes, like that is outrageous. You're at Anfield, by the way, and you don't have the camera angle to see it. Are you joking?
Yeah, that's actually a shambles.
It was a shambles,
and that's the thing. VAR, that's when you get under the cosh because I'm all for it. I think
you should
VAR,
see 100% of the pitch of your VAR. You should not be able to see the corner flag. It's a joke.
It's actually mad, and he's well on side as well, which was just awful decision. But I think we mentioned last week. I think assistant referees now or linesmen are getting very reliant on technology, so they're not making the calls themselves. Because surely Lallana should be seeing that. He should be seeing, don't worry, I've seen it. It's definitely onside. Like, I think he sort of just dropped his, what's the expression? Basically, he's not really concentrated properly, and he's like, oh, don't worry, VAR will
lapse in concentration.
Lapse in concentration. No, don't worry, VAR will help me out. And then,
they won't.
The camera's broken, lads.
Brilliant.
Sorry. Yeah, brilliant.
Terrific.
But I think quarters. Maybe even semis. I think Man City will get to the final, and I think it'll be a Manc derby. If they can, if the table, the draw will allow it.
They'll meet at some stage.
Oh, will they?
No, I'm saying they will. That's.
I don't know how the tree looks. Yeah,
they'll meet at some. Looks. No, there's no tree, is there? It's always a draw, isn't it?
Oh shit! So, yeah. I'm thinking of the World Cup, aren't I? The tree. Basically, if they don't meet until the final, I think it will be a Manc derby. Because Man City are strong, as we all know, and Man United are actually looking pretty decent, to be fair.
Signing Weghorst, huge signing.
Yeah,
getting rid of Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire. Right, absolute pleasure, Ben. As per usual, thank you everyone for listening and watching and doing all good stuff. And as we said earlier, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It does mean a lot, and we really appreciate it. And give us your starting 11 for Liverpool as well. We want to hear that. Keep streaming it. comment below the return of the Mac. We
Yeah.
didn't have that last week, did we?
Which will be the pod title.
Which will be the pod title. So yeah, return of the Mac. Comments down below. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much for listening and watching. And we shall see
Potter
you
out.
in a bit.
Peace.